because, again, video games are all about just getting that dopamine fix. And if you don't get the dopamine fix, what's the point in playing the video games? So, yeah, it's always fun to play a lot of these games where, people are just raging and frustrated and addicted and unhappy. And it's just a bunch of garbage, So I felt so much more relief after I uninstalled the game. And again, the more junk that you cut out of your life, the more free time you have to focus on things that are more important, that matter more, that are more productive, So, I'm so glad I uninstalled those video games. And, I immediately felt relief. I felt like I had my free time back. I immediately wanted to do different things. More productive things. Things that I've been neglecting. So again, you could be sitting there eating Hot Pockets, playing World of Warcraft, getting obese. Or you could be sitting there staring at a wall, getting bored, and, I don't know, cleaning your room, exercising, going out, doing things. And of course, there's a lot more than just video games wasting people's time. There's people that just sit around in just communities and stuff and just talk amongst each other. And I talked about that, like that's terrible. You don't want to be hanging around a bunch of dorks, a bunch of nerds. And it's so weird because a lot of these, types of people that sit around and play video games and discuss garbage every day, a lot of them are too stupid to get out of it. It's sad. You're like, what are you getting from it? Sitting around, just small talking and wasting your time in communities of people obsessed with different subjects. What's the point? It's sad. And some of you guys are very invested in things like video games. You have a bunch of video game consoles. You have a bunch of video games all over your room. I'm sure some of you guys, you can't even, look around your room without seeing tons of video games. Some of you guys are really invested. And, it's pretty sad because it really does distract you from, really expanding to more interesting things. And again, there's a lot of people that will obsess over hobbies, particular hobbies. And if they find like-minded people to encourage that, say you're really obsessed with Legos, and then you come across people who are also obsessed with Legos, and you encourage each other to buy more Legos, to talk about Legos, to think about Legos every single day in a big group of like-minded people. And you turn something that should have been just simple, that you moved on from, into something a lot more obsessive and wasteful. So imagine you buy a Lego set you play with it, you get bored of it, you throw it in the closet, you throw it in the trash. But no, instead you decide you're gonna collect all the Legos. You're gonna collect every single Lego. And there's other people out there telling you to do the same thing, to encourage it. You know? So like, this is how you play with Legos. You buy them all. And you talk about them. You talk about the Legos. You get mesmerized by the Legos. You become one with the Legos. One with the fountain pen collection. And it just keeps going and going and going and going and going and going for years and years and years and years. And something so simple turns into a lifestyle, turns into a hobby, turns into a part of you. You have become one with your obsessive autism. You have become one with the Legos. It's so sad. And then one day, some of the biggest Lego collectors, I don't know, okay, I'm done with that. I'm just saying that sometimes people need to wake up. I'll never forget when I came across a community of, like, I guess the best way to describe it is like, you know, gamer setups. Like you pimp out your desk with, like, you know, fancy equipment to play video games with. You decorate your room to make it look like some sort of arcade. You know, you've got RGB lights all over the place. All that stuff, you know. And you share it with people. And they start copying you. They start buying the same stuff. They start making their room look like yours. And at that point, some of them quit. They're like, okay, I decorated my entire room. Now what? Now you go touch some grass. Now you get a life. You don't dwell in it. Some people dwell in it. They're like, oh my God, I'm gonna stick around and just keep doing it. Keep decorating my room. YouTube encourages that. Like, if YouTube didn't exist, there wouldn't be people doing that. A lot of this social media stuff, like, really encourages people to obsess over garbage. Kind of like doing video game commentary, where you play a video game and you just talk over the gameplay and you just keep playing the game over and over again. And whatever game is popular, whatever game, you know, then they play it to try to entertain other people. Imagine playing video games to entertain other people. It's sad. Playing video games to entertain other people. And otherwise you wouldn't be playing those games. Starts to sound like a job. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's people wasting so much time. And people motivate them, encourage them to waste their time. It's so sad. Like, again, like when I was watching those gamer setups, some of those channels got really, really repetitive. Like, how many times can you decorate your Nintendo DS with the same handful of stickers and skins and button covers? You know, it's really sad. If your channel is about like collecting fountain pens, talking about fountain pens, God, people get these obsessive, dorky hobbies, and they just obsess over it to a ridiculous degree. And the scary thing is, a lot of these people are not even good at their own hobbies. And in a way, that's actually beneficial to them. I was thinking about this, like, you know, if you were good at your hobby, you would eventually get bored of your hobby because you would know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, you're not going to be mesmerized. You're going to make very efficient choices to get things done. You're not going to be mystified. You're not going to be just wallowing. Part of being productive and knowing what you're doing is moving on. Part of not knowing what you're doing is never moving on. It's dwelling. It's obsessing. I think every year you should look back at like the previous year and be like, I learned a lot. I evolved. I grew. I got better. I moved on. I had new triumphs. I didn't obsess. I didn't dwell. I didn't wallow. I didn't do the same obsessive things over and over and over again. I got good. I had triumphs and accomplishments. And I moved on to new challenges. Some people, they don't do that. And they encourage other people not to do that. It's like, no. We gotta keep it a little bit more mysterious. It's kind of like you have a bubble, and people just orbit around the bubble. And all you have to do is go into the bubble. Once you're in the bubble, you figured everything out. And you accomplished that goal. And then you can go to a different bubble. But there's communities where people just orbit the bubble. Yeah. And they never accomplish anything. They just wallow for years. And you're like, what motivates you to stick around and orbit the bubble? They're like, I don't know, I don't ask them that, I don't care. I just think it's sad. And of course, you know, it's kind of like playing the same video game for years. I don't know, that's sad. But I really like the video game. It's still sad. I don't know. I just really like moving on because it makes no sense to wallow and to dwell and to obsess over something that you should have moved on from. It gets really sad when you move on from something and years down the road you see that there's still the same handful of people wallowing in a subject or something that you've moved on from. I don't know, I just find it sad. Because there's so many different things out there. I hope I don't ever install another video game again. Because I feel so much better when I'm focused on other things.